Hi everyone, my name is Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing another unboxing. This one came to me shipped in a bag, so in unbagging. We joke a lot here. It's fun. Anyways, I do a lot of dog agility. My main competition outside of Fast Cat, because Fast Cat is easy peasy, right now is agility. Obedience, I really want to give Ammo time to mature, and I can't do rally until I've done what I wanted to do in obedience, because obedience has a lot more strict of a healing regime, whereas how do I say it? Rally is a lot of stop and go. So if you're doing them at the same time, your dog's heal might decline a little bit once you do a lot more rally because of the stop and go. However, I prefer rally because you can talk to your dog. It's a fun obstacle course. There isn't a lot of just people judging it. Obedience can be a very toxic scene for dog competitions. So like I said, I want to get Ammo titled, I think it's either open or excellent. I wish they'd all be the same ranking. But anyways, it's the middle title. I want the middle title. I don't want the last title. I don't want utility obedience. That one is not for me. But I want to go up to the one before utility. That's the title that I want. That being said, anyways, we're not talking about obedience right now. We're talking about agility. So I have all my agility competition stuff, basically. I need a good table. I need a good hoop jump. And I need numbers. I didn't have any markers. I didn't have any things to tell me what the numbers were. I had to use my little brain to memorize the course. And I get lost even when there are numbers. So but guess what? I don't feel like buying cones. They're so... in my brain, even though I spent so much on actual agility equipment, the idea of spending money on tiny little plastic cones was just something I did not want to do. But I finally did. So here we are. There should be 50 of them, and they should have came with labels. If not, oh no, I'll just write numbers on them with a permanent marker. And if it washes off, oh no, I'll refresh them with a permanent marker. It's not a big deal. But I got the cones, and I got, not like the big, you know, these cones. I got the ones that are low to the ground in hopes that they won't blow away as easily. We'll see how they do, because I don't want things that stab into the ground, because we have very rocky clay-like soil here, and even with my agility weaves, stabbing them into the ground, I have to readjust a lot because there are rocks. So I would like to get the weaves that come on a track in the future too, but you know, functionality-wise, we're good, we're chilling. So that being said, let's unbox these and do some stickering, and we'll just hang out. Woo! Sweet. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, so they definitely did come with stickers. Oh my gosh, they're so bent up. Yeah, so I can't even tell you what company this was. I just looked for the cheapest, like, cones with the most in them. So am I surprised that the shipping was mediocre at best? No, absolutely not surprised. Am I disappointed? Maybe a little. But ultimately, you know, we're good. Look at it. 50. Yay, we're good. So now I'm going to put the stickers on. And I like this, that they have this little holder. So I'm gonna do it backwards. We'll count from 50 to 1, just so that when I set up a course, they'll go nicer. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate these all by color, and then it'll be a nice little pattern, I think. I think we'll go like a rainbow order, just for fun. So, I figured while I do this, I can talk about where I'm at with competitions, what my goals are with Ammo, and things like that. Just because, I don't know, a podcast type video is very difficult. Obviously, I have my playlist, Dana and Dogcast, but it's difficult to talk about things when, you know, there's no one there to provide a discussion. However, I do think it's good to be transparent. So, as of right now, I have Ammo she is tested for some things. I have not done her OFAs. I have not done CAER or BAER, but I've done EAOD. So she's halfway there. I'm going to hopefully be doing the CAER testing in June. There's one that's kind of nearby, not really, but it's whatever. They don't have a lot of testing near me for these things, which makes it really difficult as someone who doesn't really trust their car and doesn't really enjoy driving, especially since I do it enough for my job, but never out of my comfort zone. I really don't enjoy driving, honestly. So even with competitions, I'm sure I could have gone farther with ammo by now if I decided to drive to the same place multiple days. I've decided, you know what, we're just going to give it our all for one day each week instead of doing like all 3 days of the competition. Would we have made it farther? Oh, most definitely. Would I be out of a lot of money? Oh, most definitely. That's another reason too, is obviously I'm in the process of starting up my own business, which there's a lot of expenses that go into that, and there's a lot of expenses that go into just testing a dog before they're bred, and that's where I'm at with ammo. I'm like most definitely going to be thousands of dollars in when it comes to her finally being tested like to an ethical standard, plus then having enough money saved up to where when she has puppies, if something were to go wrong and I needed to rush to the vet, I could afford it. Plus then afterwards taking care of the puppies for any emergencies, for their vaccines, things like that. I need to be mindful about that as well. So I'm already like in the process of saving up for that. Plus I want to get a dog mobile. I want to get a car just for transporting whenever I have dogs along, and I have high standards when it comes to fuel efficiency because I don't want to spend money on gas. And am I in a real rush to get a new vehicle? No, I have a few other priorities, but once I am attempting to transport 2 dogs, because I will be keeping a puppy from ammo if and when she is bred, because obviously she does have to pass all of her testing. But then it'll get a lot more difficult because I don't think I can fit 2 medium crates in the back of my car. So yeah, it really, then it would be a lot more dire. So my goals are for this year is to hopefully get monetized on YouTube. I'm going to be also selling at farmers markets. I want to get a website established so that way any of you guys watching, I'll have it linked down below. I'm not going to do a whole lot of business promoting on this YouTube channel. Maybe like once every 5 videos I'll be like, hey, don't forget, I'm also a business. But I'll also be making a YouTube channel for my business that I will kind of shout out, maybe at the end screen or something. And that'll be where I do a lot more like business updates, promotions, videos of things that my business is selling, things like that. And I'm really hopeful. I want to be able to sell products like in my business that I know and trust with my dogs. And then that way I can use my dogs as examples of, wow, I like this product and it's great. So that's another thing I have a goal for. Because then my dogs are benefiting from the product. I can have my dogs as proof that I trust the product and I'm not just trying to sell it to people. And then obviously I'm trying to make my business more accessible for people outside of where I can drive, because obviously I do in-home lessons, and then I do private lessons and group lessons. I'm trying to make it where I can also do virtual lessons, and obviously that will be, it's a lot more hands-off, but it's so much easier for me to explain things by talking as opposed to texting or emailing. So even if we can do a video and I can help you simulate things and work with your dog in a video context, it will not be super pricey because it is just a video, and obviously it'll be in the comfort of our own homes, and we won't have to, you know, cover my insurance of driving, which is nice too. And I'm gonna always be very realistic. So if things didn't work out, you know, if your dog needed a little bit more than virtual lessons, I would let you know, and I'd work with you to help find a trainer near you, whatever. But that being said too, I want it to be where, you know, it is easy and accessible for you to at least go, okay, I know Dana likes these products. I trust Dana and she uses it for her dogs. I would like these products as well. And I'm gonna do my best where my prices are competitive, but where I'm not losing money, obviously, because with shipping, that does add a little bit. So obviously in-person pricing, especially if there's no shipping involved, will be cheaper, but that's kind of my plan with where I'm going business-wise. And then obviously Ammo having puppies and things like that. I'm probably gonna do most of the puppy content on here, maybe a little, actually I don't think that's right, because obviously if everything goes correctly, the goal is to make some money off of the puppies, so that way I can save up for my next litter of puppies. It's not like I'm gonna be making bank. Only people who do not breed ethically do not, like, they're the ones making bank. So if anyone's charging like $50,000 for dogs, and they are not standard coloring, they are very much exploiting dogs, and I do not support that. If they don't test the dogs, doing OFAs for me, just getting the vet appointment, is over $600. So that's a lot of money, and there's a risk that obviously she's from an ethical breeder, so the risk is minor that she doesn't pass, but there is still a risk that she doesn't pass. And obviously, then I'm risking this money for something that might not even happen. Then I pay the stud fee. I find an ethically bred male who matches the temperament that I'm looking for, and complements Ammo's temperament. And then I have to pay the stud fee, unless the breeder wants a puppy from this litter. But with it being Ammo's first litter, I wouldn't be surprised if the stud person wanted to at least see how this litter turned out before doing anything crazy, because obviously, you know, it is kind of a risk when you want this dog to represent your dog, like this new future dog. But yeah, so there's a lot of that going on right now that I am working towards, but obviously in today's economy, it's a little tricky. But even if you can't support my business at all, you watching the videos, liking, and subscribing is helping me, because if and when I do get monetized on this YouTube channel, obviously I'm not going to be making millions and millions of dollars. That is not going to happen probably ever, or at least not for a very long time with a YouTube channel that is dog related, but it still helps me, and the money I'd make from the channel I would set aside to competitions, ammo, my dogs, vet expenses, things like that. And I'm really hoping, my goal for this year is to get monetized on YouTube, and we're getting there subscribers wise, but it is 4,000 watch hours, which is a lot of watch hours, and my videos are not usually very long form content, which does make it a lot more tricky to get the watch hours needed. But like I said, anything you do helps. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!